Adria, I cannot give you praise enough for this film. You knocked it out of the park. I was there watching and just so many times I wanted to stand up out of my seat and just cheer for your characters there. What was it like to take Zoe Kravitz's vision and really develop it and make it something that was you putting yourself into it, but also giving so much because it's such an intense role.
It was so fun. It was so fun. We had a really good time sort of creating Sarah. A lot of it was, on the page and other stuff we sort of came up with it on the day and Zoe works very collaboratively with her actors, but yet she still has a very clear vision of what she wants and sort of the beats or this or the tone or kind of the speed of where the story is kind of developing. Um, so it was really collaborative, but also there were moments where I just trusted her and her vision. And then there was also times where she trusted me and I was like, wait, but can we try this or can we try that? And I think that's what makes her such a good director. She is really collaborative and kind of shape shifted the way that she worked with every single one of the actors and understood every single one's sort of process and respected it. She's also an actress, so she treated directing with a lot of respect and integrity. And she didn't feel like a first time director to me. Like that never crossed my mind while filming, ever. She's just a director who was very good and who I trusted in blindly.
Being a Latino on this set and really making this yours because your character's so strong. What was it like to develop Sarah and to get that nuance for her? Because she was just amazing.
Thank you. As a Latin American woman, I am a Latin American woman, and I'm also an actress. It's just it comes together. I don't make choices as a Latin woman, especially not on set, because it just is that's who I am. I can't, I know nothing different, right? Um, but I really liked the idea of sort of showcasing this arc that sort of Sarah goes through, which is you kind of think you know who she is, and she, out of her own insecurities, acts like this bitchy, competitive woman. Um, and she's competing for the attention of Slater King. And as the story sort of progresses, her barriers start kind of breaking, and she starts really liking the girls and kind of putting all the pieces to the puzzle. And then she gets incredibly protective, and then her true colors comes out, which is she has this huge heart that she's kind of been protecting since the beginning. um and she's power and she's strong, and even though she doesn't really understand or really believe Frida, she's like, I believe in women, and she just goes with that. And then it all sort of starts, you know developing in front of her eyes, and she starts remembering a lot of this stuff. um so I mean, creating her arc was just so much fun for me. It really was. To go from A all the way to Z in a movie is it's rare, and I got that in this one, and it was just a blast. And I got to play with Naomi. I think I wouldn't have been able to sort of create this without her.
Mhm.
This sisterhood, this bond. It was in the original script, and we did sort of come together, but the way that we did, and I think that's credit to Zoe because she casted both of us. She knew that me and her were just gonna glue together, and we did. We fell in love with each other, and all of a sudden this girl bond became so much stronger um than really I think what was expected. And Zoe just guided us right through it. She like planted the seed, it worked, and then we just ran with it, the three of us.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And you could tell the chemistry on screen was just so good. Uh, have you now that the film's out, have you been able to look and see what people are saying about it, or do you kind of stay away as much as you can?
I stay away from it. The Blink Twice Instagram account has been putting some up, and I follow them, obviously. And so I've been reading that, but it's obviously only the positive ones. So I'm only reading the positive ones.
Oh, we don't have much time left, but I wanted to make sure that I brought this out because you are on Andor. And to see for me being a Star Wars fan since I was two, and seeing two Latinos on screen with major roles in a Star Wars film was so special for me. How special was it for you to be a part of that series?
Oh man, so special. I pinch myself every day that I am a part of that show. It's probably the most amazing thing I've ever been a part of. I owe Tony Gilroy a lot, and I respect that man so much. He's kind of becoming like my godfather in this industry, and I ask for his advice for everything. Um, but it was Tony. It was Tony. He was like, I don't care that there's two Latinos. Like that doesn't, and he never even crossed his mind. He was like, I just like the way that you did your audition, and you are big. So he has sort of that blind, which people say they do, but they don't really. Tony really does. Was like, oh no, this makes sense to me. I like this. Um, and that's really cool. And I mean, the fact that I get to meet so many Star Wars fans, like, you know, Latinas that come up to me and they're like, I finally have a character that I can look up to, that it's in my age group, that is also Latina. It just fills my heart. The day of the season one, there was a woman, and I'll never forget her. She was already dressed like Bix, and she was from Latin America, and she just started crying, and I started crying, and I ruined my makeup for the red carpet, like right before the red carpet. It's really meaningful. It means so much that I'm a part of that show, and get ready for season two because it's so much better. I don't know how. I don't know how. You're like, he couldn't have done it better. Yet Tony Gilroy did it again. He outdid himself.
Adria, thank you so much for stopping with us. Really appreciate it. Continue the amazing work. You're having an amazing year, and if you don't get nominated for something for Blink Twice, we're starting an uproar because you did such a great job. Thank you so much for stopping with
Thank
us.
you.